Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Dustin here with Revere Glass. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for checking this out. If you've been a long-time subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys a classic old school technique. It's called a mushroom push. This is one of the very first things that so many people in the glass industry learned. It's a lot of times the first thing that you'll get taught when you go into a studio. So I want to share with you guys today the classic mushroom push. And you can do it with any color, super easy technique, use any size torch. So it's a really great technique to start off with. Before we get into the studio, I wanted to thank our sponsor, Mountain Glass Arts. Thank you so much, Mountain Glass Arts, for being a longtime supporter of Revere Glass, the channel, and also the entire industry. Mountain Glass ships stuff all over the world and supports people blowing glass and changing their lives all over the world. Thanks a lot, Mountain Glass Arts. I personally really appreciate your support, and so does the entire community. All right, you guys. So I wanted to also remind you about the Dakota Madrona workshop. He's an amazing teacher and puts on awesome content on the internet. So Dakota Madrona is going to be teaching an online workshop at revereglass.com. It's going to be a really exciting workshop. Dakota is an amazing artist and the content that he puts up is super unique and really entertaining. So I know it's going to be a great entertaining day. So if you have time, Saturday the 18th, please join us for that workshop. And if you don't have time, feel free to sign up because you'll get 30 days of replay so you can watch it again and again and learn anything you can. It'll be available on any device, anywhere in the world, and it's like having a front row seat. So I'd love to see you there. That's September 18th at revereglass.com. Make sure you stay tuned till the end of the video so that you can find out if you won a free month mentorship at revereglass.com, because I'll be giving away a free mentorship to one of the commenters from the last How to Blow Glass video, and I'll be giving away another one this video. So if you'd like a mentorship at revereglass.com, please comment on the video. All right, you guys, without further ado, let's get in the studio and make this mushroom push. All right, you guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for checking this out. Today, I'm going to be working on a mushroom push. It's just a classic technique that so many of us learned first starting out. And really all you need is just one color. I'm using a fuming color here. It's Glass Alchemy Persimmon Strike. If you're curious more about colors, I'm doing a bunch of color tests, and that's why I had this one on my bench. There's a bunch of Glass Alchemy colors where I test the color and use it in different ways. And Persimmon Strike is one of the last ones that'll be going up on the online school really soon. And it's a really beautiful reddish fuming color. All you need for this project is a piece of 10mm rod, a piece of 7mm punty rod, and one color. Of course, you can do it more complicated and use multiple colors, and there's other techniques to add in more detail to the mushroom. So what I'm going to do first is make sure that all of my glass is cleaned, Windexed, and then I'm going to heat up the 10mm rod into a gather. I'm just going to let that collect on itself, and I'm holding the back end of the rod down a little bit towards the table, and that's allowing the gravity to continue to build up that gather of glass. And I'm using gravity as an assist here. So you can see the balls getting bigger. And you might want to do a gather that's about twice the diameter or so of the rod itself. So I'm going to heat this up and let this fall back onto itself. Trying not to fold it at all because I want to make sure to keep it really nice and optically clear. You can see it's nice and hot. I'm just collecting any glass that I can onto the rod. Almost at the right size now. I'll heat that up and get this a little bit floppy. I'm using my Mirage flame, but you can use really any torch for this particular project. All you need is a lynx flame or something really small. It's a great thing to practice when you're first starting off because it gives you the opportunity to pull a stringer, gives you the opportunity to make a gather, and to get something hot enough so that you'll be able to continue to control the glass. This step is really important. What I've done is I've let the whole thing cool, not to room temperature, but much cooler. And now I'm going to heat up the front half of it. Really just the front half is all I want to heat up because I'm trying to have a cold spot right in the center. And that's what's going to make the mushroom push. And I've pulled down the Persimmon Strike. I'm just going to marvel then to make it a little bit smooth here. And then I'm going to slowly push it in and let that hot glass ooze right around it. I'm going to push in, and as the glass gets to the cold spot, it starts to push out and make the mushroom cap. I'm pushing it in. You can see that mushroom cap starting to form, and of course the stringer or the thin rod is now making the stem of the mushroom. So I'm pushing this all the way in, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the end of the stringer or the pulled down rod. I'm going to go in and just attach the bottom to the bottom of the mushroom to the bottom of the clear glass so that it doesn't get sucked back in when I melt it all together. So now it's touching the side, and I know it's going to stay in place for the whole time. This next step is also really important. What I'm doing is heating up towards the top of the mushroom because I want to get the glass hot enough that it squeezes out any air on the stem. It's really common to trap air along the stem if you start heating the bottom first. So I'm heating the top and kind of moving the heat down as if I was evacuating the air in a vac stack or a sleeve or something like that. It's getting nice and hot. And because this is a striking color, it's going to lose its color a little bit while I do this process. But don't worry, it'll come back through a striking process and in the kiln maybe a little bit too. So I'm heating it up by the cap, and it's starting to close and condense around the stem of the mushroom. I'm just using a small lynx flame here for this. Heat this up, pull it together. It's kind of closing down on itself, and then you can see it's really getting narrow at the end, and then it's closed all the way up. You can't really see the mushroom at this point because it's a striking color. Now I'm going to heat up this punty rod and attach it to the bottom. First I want to remove any of this excess funky glass from a last move that I did, and I can either pull that off or marver it. Either way, I need to bring this to more of a clean point. So I'm going to heat this up and now attach it to the bottom with a hot seal, probably about a 7 or 8 on the seal scale. And look at the difference of the mushroom, how it's all clear like that right now. Attach the punny, and now I'm going to prepare the 10 millimeter rod for the hook. So I'm going to pull this down a little bit, maybe to about 7 millimeters, something like that. I'm going to heat this up. All right, now I'm going to pull this down a little bit, and you can see that it's about the same diameter as the punty rod that I'm using. So I'll heat this up and then pull it off, and this is what I'm going to use to make the loop. Such a fun project to make. I know that you guys have seen these everywhere, so I'm happy to show this with you and share the way that I do it. There's tons of ways to do this, and in fact there's a couple of other ways that I've shown on my online school, revereglass.com, so feel free to check that out. And there's a free membership, free trial going on right now, and you can just sign up, see if you like it, cancel anytime by just sending us a message in the chat. So I'm going to pull this one direction all the way and then grab my tweezers and wrap it around. And now I'm going to connect these two sides, heat it up and push it together, and this will all get cleaned up. It looks a little bit sloppy right now, but we're going to melt this together and it's going to get cleaned up really nicely. All right, melting that in, and it's still thick on one end, and so I'm going to have to work this loop a little bit to make sure that all the glass is even. All right, pull this off because there was a little bit of excess glass right there, and now you can see the loop is looking much more even. And once I have it at this stage, I can use my reamer to open it up a little bit and make sure that it's nice and round on the inside of the loop. Make sure that there's enough room to put a string through. All right, it's looking close now, but the mushroom still isn't the right color yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up with a soft flame, and I'm not going to heat it up till it's all the way hot. I'm just going to heat it up so that some of that heat soaks into the center, but not hot enough so that it melts it anymore. So I'll heat it up for a second, take it out, let it cool, and that process brings the color back, as you can see. And once the color's in, knock it off on the punny and remove any marks from the punty, and then throw this in the kiln. And there you go, you guys. That's how you make the simple mushroom push, classical pipe making technique. Here's the mushroom. You can see the beautiful red fumey colors that come out and the loop. This is a great thing to make for gifts for a friend, and I'm really happy the way that this came out. Please comment on the video if you'd like to join the online school for a free mentorship, or if you'd like to comment about anything else that's going on for you. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you back in the studio. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me in the studio making that mushroom push. It was really fun to make, and I love making this classical pipe making stuff. It was fun to share it with you guys. I'd like to remind you again about the Dakota Madrona workshop on September 18th. Please join us at revereglass.com for that. Go ahead and sign up now. Also, there's a bunch more workshops coming up in the rest of the year. There's Creep, Gus Glass, and some other great ones. Please feel free to sign up for any of those, and you can use your membership for additional discounts. All right, you guys. This time I'm going to give the month free membership to Zombies. Thank you so much for your comment. I really look forward to working with you and being there with you along your journey with glass. If you'd like to win a mentorship at revereglass.com and have access to all the content on there, please comment in this video. For any winners who have won anything on any of the videos, please make sure to go to the website revereglass.com, use the chat in the bottom right, and just let us know who you are, and we'll take care of you. You can also use that chat to communicate with us about any questions that you have, or if you have a question about glass blowing or the school, please feel free to open up that chat. It's really the best way to communicate with me and the team over here at Revere Glass for anything education related. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment on the video. See you next time.